Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to some more World of Warships, and today we are taking a look at the Tier 10 USN cruiser, the Des Moines. Now one little side note before we get going too far, if the sound on the video sounds a little bit off, it's due to the fact that I had to uninstall and reinstall the game because of some issues that I've experienced with the game. So if this volume sounds a bit off, I do apologize. I will try to fix that in the future. We are playing on Hotspot. We have a Kurfürst, Lion, 2 Monarchs, Des Moines, Minotaur, Rune, Donskoy, Charles Martel, Gearing, Tashkent, and a Harikaze. On the enemy team, there's a Kurfürst, Lion, North Carolina, Monarch, Bismarck, Minotaur, Zhao, Rune, Donskoy, Shimikaze, Z23, and a Kagero. And obviously the Des Moines is the one of the original cruisers that first came to the game. Obviously the other was the Zhao. Now the Des Moines I actually earned after I earned, or better yet, got to the Zhao. So she was the second ship, but I do feel more comfortable with the Des Moines than I do feel with the Zhao. She's actually become one of my more favorite ships, and she's a very powerful cruiser. She obviously does have her weaknesses. As you will see, I will be taking full advantage of the islands as much as I can, just to ensure that I can cover up any weaknesses that may become very well known. As obviously the Des Moines has a very prominent citadel and her armor does not allow to show a lot of broadside, so I'm going to use the cover of this island to my full advantage. Now, positioning is very key for USN cruisers. This is something you do have to learn with the Cleveland and all the way up to the Pensacola. So, or better, all the way up to the Des Moines. So you do have to be well aware of your positioning. If you get in a very terrible positioning, you will get focused down very quickly. Now this island is extremely beneficial for us as we open up on this rune, and this island allows us to be firing at targets without being actually seen. And this is the one nice thing about the Des Moines, is the arcing on the shells is very high, which means it does allow you to actually fire your shells over the islands without obviously being detected. But unfortunately we are now detected by the enemy Z23 that is currently pushing into the B cap. So if we can take him out, which I think the Gearing is going to get the final kill on him. And you see the number of targets focusing on us. It did rack up a little bit, but we should be fine with no longer anyone spotting us. Do pop my radar, and unfortunately I've just lost our Harikaze. We have actually lost 2 destroyers, so that's not particularly a good situation to be in. But we are currently spotting the Kagero, and hopefully that Donskoy can help finish him off if at all possible. Now, I do tend to fire a lot of AP. Now, the AP on the Des Moines is very powerful. It does allow very good penetration. That's the nice thing about the USN cruisers, is the fact that they fire a super heavy AP every time you let loose, which does mean that you can penetrate even slightly angled targets, and obviously we do earn citadels whenever possible. So guns are nice. Now the obviously downside of these high arcing shells is the fact that you do have to provide quite a bit of lead just to ensure that your shells go to target. So major issue with the Des Moines is the fact that you do have to, especially against destroyers. Destroyers are one of the worst things to try to open up at range, because you do have to provide a lot of lead time, and it gives the destroyer more time to maneuver and possibly avoid your salvos as they come towards them. Now the enemy team is doing a really good job. They have taken out at least 3 of our ships versus 1, but with this positioning they can't really push in because I am constantly harassing this Bismarck. Just look at the AP salvo against that Bismarck. It's just so extravagant. It should get a kill, I believe. There we go, got the kill on the Bismarck. Switching targets to the rune. Let's see if we can get another hit. Another kill would be nice. Oh, look at there. There we got a citadel. Now, the damage is alright as far as max damage on the AP. The really nice thing about the Des Moines is the reload rate. Every 4.5 to 5 seconds, you can get a salvo off. So, very, very beneficial to run the reload module on the Des Moines, because most times you're going to be firing at closer range, and having that quicker reload rate is very beneficial for you to deal a lot of damage. Once again, Des Moines is very fantastic. Now, the Des Moines does have radar. Radar is 9.9 kilometers and runs for about 40 seconds. And let's go ahead and pop it to see where that enemy Kagero is. And oh, looky there. There he is, hiding behind that island. Believes he is safe. I was expecting him to actually push forward, but oh, we got a hit, and look at that. He realized he's in a very dangerous position, but we get the kill, and now the enemy destroyers are nearly null and void on the enemy team. There's no, obviously, any destroyers on or around C, so we should be able to take C if we can keep pushing the enemy team back. Their North Carolina is starting to push in. First salvo was HE, did minimal amount of damage. Second salvo, 6.5k. This is why I love firing AP in the Des Moines. Now, nothing against the HE. The HE is very powerful. I've earned Arsonist before with the Des Moines, so using HE just to cause those fires, because once again, you fire very, very, very quickly. That you can easily rack up damage with HE and then switch over to AP and cause penetration damage. So very, very powerful, but you can see how long it takes just for our shells to reach to target. And this is one thing you definitely have to learn with the Des Moines, is the fact that you can't really fight at long range. You do have to be extremely careful at this fact. Now, the Donskoy and the North Carolina have finally pushed out. There is a Zhao and a Kerfurs that was last spotted up north, and the majority of our team actually has been kind of sitting down here in this position, and this is a really good position, and this is how you should be playing the Des Moines. It's kind of like a fort. Maybe not the strongest, but you can hold down a position and you can constantly harass and prevent anyone from really pushing in, because the enemy team can't really push in because they'll just get focused down by myself or any of our friendly teams. And obviously that positioning right there, that was a great positioning. No one spotted us. So now we can start pushing in. We do have to be careful. There is a Kerfurs to the east of us, and the North Carolina and Donskoy to the north of us, but at the moment no one is currently spotting us, and we're going to try to get a few hits on this curve first. And this is where things are going to get a little bit dangerous for me, because I have to choose either which way to angle towards the curve first, or better yet towards the Donskoy. And obviously the curve first can deal a lot more damage towards me if he catches me on my broadside, so I'm gonna try to be a little bit careful with the Kerfurs. So obviously I'm going to try to use this island for my benefit, and unfortunately that Donskoy has just met his fate because he showed too much broadside to a North Carolina and does go down. And it looks like we have attracted the attention of the Kerfurs, and the armor on the Des Moines can ricochet most cruiser AP, so with that you can prevent damage. But with the Kerfurs, yeah, that was the Citadel right there. The Kerfurs could overmatch our bow armor. Our bow armor is 27 millimeters and just penetrated right through that and got our Citadel. So that is one dangerous thing about it, and that's why you do have to use the location of the islands, just to ensure your health doesn't deplete too quickly. But with that, once this Kerfurs gets around this island, and it looks like he's going to be firing again. Now, hopefully RNG will be kind to us, and we only get a few hits. Good. Only took a few minor hits. Now, the Des Moines health pool isn't the greatest. It's only around 50.6k. So your damage, well, you can get killed very, very quickly if you're not too careful. Now, there is a Zhao to the south of us, and right now I'm more concerned that he might try to push inward toward the island, but there is a line that is at least harassing that Zhao and hopefully should be able to take him out. Now, one good thing about the Des Moines is her AA is godly, especially if you build it as the captain skills allow. Build it as a AA cruiser, and it can basically ravage any enemy airplanes that try to come in and try to take you out. So now you might be wondering why I'm not actually running a full AA build on the Des Moines. Well, in fact, this is set up towards more clan wars, and in clan wars there's actually no carriers, so not a really big concern for me at this point. And we just earned Confederate, very nice. Can we finish off this one? Donskoy, that would be nice. We do get a Citadel, so you should be very, very low on health. Do pop my radar, hoping to spot him, but unfortunately he is outside of the range, and so the only way will be if we can detect him on sea. So we're going to try to get around this island and continue harassing this Donskoy. Now the team lineup right now is actually fairly even between both teams. We are definitely ahead in points. We have captured quite a bit, and hopefully can we take out this Donskoy? He's so low on health. Would be easy kill. There we go. Third kill of the game. And damage wise, not a bad game. Not a bad game. Not my highest damaging game in the Des Moines. I believe the Des Moines actually is the record holder for my highest damage game in World of Warships. I think around 280 some K. Something like that. Now the Kurfürst is obviously very low on health, and he's trying to escape from the lion that has been constantly harassing him. Let's see. I think there's also, yeah, we still have our tier 10, and he is doing a really good job securing A. But right now I'm hoping to spot this Kurfürst. Should be able to outspot him. Detection on the Des Moines is 10.6. Can we get another kill? That would be fantastic. He is spotted. His guns have to be reloaded, but for whatever reason, maybe due to the fact that he's turning right now, or he's just trying to disappear, he doesn't open up, and unfortunately for us, we don't get the kill, and the lion takes the kill. So unfortunately we don't get a fourth kill, and the enemy team is starting to starting to die right and left, and this game is actually about gone. The North Carolina is one of the closest ship to us, and he is currently southeast of us. So not a bad game. 160k. So we are going to go ahead and jump into port, and I will see you guys there. Alright everyone, welcome back to the port. And Des Moines, I really like the Des Moines. Des Moines is obviously one of the older cruisers, one of the first cruisers that came to the game, and I like the Des Moines. It is squishy, as you did see there, against that Kurfürst. Even bow in, your bow does get overpenetrated and can take Citadel, but for the most part against other cruisers and against some battleships, your bow armor can protect you and can get those ricochets. Now obviously if I was slightly angled, that might have helped, but at that time it was either take possible damage from the Donskoy on my side, or possibly get into a better position where I can actually protect my side. So Des Moines, not bad. It's a really good cruiser. Definitely something you definitely have to get accustomed to, especially if you say start up the Japanese line, or say the Russian line. The arcing on the shells is probably the most major thing you do have to get accustomed to, but the shell type, the AP, is really, really nice. As you did see there, I used AP quite a bit in that battle with a combination of HE, and did a really good job. So let's actually take a look at kind of the modules that I normally run. Now I normally run main battery mod 3. I think this is a really valuable module to have, due to the fact that it just increases your reload rate. Mine's just off because I had to put it onto a different ship because I didn't have quite enough silver to purchase a new one, so I had to use gold to move it around. Other than that, it's very, very similar to a lot of builds. If you want, you could build up your AA, just make it that much more powerful, but honestly you don't see carriers all too often, so I really don't want to say. Now, my Des Moines is at the moment set up for Clan Wars, and since Clan Wars you don't really see carriers, I do run hydroacoustics, but normally when in battle, I would say having defensive AA is a more valuable consumable compared to hydroacoustics, just due to the fact that you can shred planes. That's what the Des Moines is really good at. Obviously, the other beneficial thing is that surveillance radar. 9.9 kilometers, yes, not as good as the Moskva, but it is active for 40 seconds, which is really, really, really valuable to have. So overall, definitely nice to have that radar. Captain-wise, let's actually take a quick look at the captain. He's not a fully spec'd captain, and once again, I've kind of built him more orientated towards Clan Wars, and this may vary depending on your style choice. Originally, I did have, I believe, advanced firing training to boost the range of my AA, make this ship very valuable, especially in cooperative play. Ensures that you do offer some additional assistance from any enemy bombers or torpedo planes that do come in to try to attack your battleships, for example. Now, I will have to say the Des Moines is a very, very good ship for cooperative. The Des Moines is a very, very good ship for cooperative play. It really is one of the better of the other ships, just due to the fact that it has very fast firing guns. You can push in, especially with other DDs. It has radar. You can even run hydroacoustics. It has good AA. So overall, not a bad cruiser. Of course, I will have to mention it is squishy. It is very squishy. You do not want to show your broadside. You will get deleted very, very, very quickly if you do show your broadside. It doesn't have any troll armor like the Zhao. It doesn't have spaced armor like the Henry IV. It's pretty much like a smaller version of the Moskva. That's probably only the best way to really explain it. If you've never played to a Moskva, that would make no sense to you. But it's very squishy. You don't want to show a lot of broadside. It doesn't have the capabilities that the Moskva has sometimes with its bow armor. The bow armor, yes, is 27 millimeters. The Moskva, let's actually grab the Moskva real quick, has 25 millimeters. However, the front of it, Citadel athwartship, is 170 millimeters, while the Des Moines, so we quickly run back, has 127. So there is definitely a significance of how much armor is between the Citadel and the front of the ship. So the Moskva does have a slight edge, even though, yes, the Des Moines does have 27 millimeters and can bounce most AP shells from it. Battleship AP just goes right through it and gets right to your Citadel, so got to be careful on that. Concealment's not bad. Concealment's decent. Maneuverability is kind of on the slower side. It's definitely not the fastest cruiser there is, but it does have a nice turning circle radius. So anyways, this is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zaijian.